Hello there everyone, this is Ben from ThemeCo and this is another part of the video series that teaches you how to create a website from scratch using the X theme. And if you watch the previous video, I've uh, gave you a run through of the theme options page. So now we will be revisiting the theme options page, but our focus will be on two options. The first is the stack option, and the second one is the layout option. And we're going to be looking at those, and these are our objectives. First, we will define what a stack is. Then after we have defined what a stack is, we will choose a stack. And I'm going to teach you how I chose the stack that I am using for this tutorial. And sometimes it no, actually it's not sometimes, but in this case, I think I made an illogical choice. Just one part of the stack uh, made made me decide to use it over the other stacks. So I'm going to teach you illogical choices in this video. So just keep that in mind. Kidding aside, the last step is I'm going to teach you how to set up the layout of your site using the layout option. So okay, to start, let's go to the theme options page and let's let it load. Okay, so there. So the stack is an option. This is actually the first option on the theme options page, and if you click that, you'll have four options to choose from. A stack in basic terms is just a design. So if you try looking at these ones, so the default value is integrity, and this is how it looks. So this is the design of an integrity stack. This is the default design. And if you look at renew, this is the default design. So you see that the fonts are different, the layouts are somewhat different, and the placement of this headline, which in integrity was centered like this with some kind of line on the sides, it's different on renew. Okay, and we go to icon, yet this is different again. The fonts are different. Now you notice that there's a border when you hover on the menu items, and the fonts are different. Then you go to ethos, and it's different again. Okay, so each one has a unique way of presenting, and the look and feel are different between each stack. So these are just starting points of design. That doesn't mean that if this is how it looks now, that it will eventually look the same way, because everything in X is customizable. So if you the goal of having a stack is to just make things easier for you, so you can start immediately with the fewest customizations needed. So for me, since this is how the look I want in the end, I have chosen, and this is quite illogical. If you look at this, it's a bit of an illogical kind of decision, but I chose the icon uh, stack on the basis that I like how the the menu items on the main navigation look like, with a border here and the distance between them. It's kind of like, I like that, and I don't want to start from scratch in doing that. So I chose that. So this is how everything looks, kind of virtually the same with this, and I've turned I made it from this to this, and that's what you're going to be learning in a little while on the succeeding videos. So that's how I chose it. So, and you have on your own project, you virtually have this the freedom to choose whatever stack that fits the project you're building. The only thing you really need to take into account is which one, which of these stacks will make my life easier. So that's really it. So in this case, I like to use the icon, and I'm going to leave it as is. Now let's go to, oh, so you'll notice also that there is a new option available now. It's called icon, and it's because I chose the icon stack. So if we're going to go back to integrity, you'll see an integrity option. And if you're going to go to ethos, there's also an ethos option. And they are unique depending on the stack. So if we look at this, this is how the ethos options looks like. If I choose renew icon and I go to the icon, there's a different set again. So it's mostly for the icon stack. It's mostly just whether to use colors or whatnot, or to show the post title. If you click this, yeah, mm, yep. Basically, I don't really need anything to change anything here, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. Okay, so for this series, I suggest you use icon because it's the easiest for you to follow along, and just leave the icon option as it is. Now let's go to layout and design. So let's click that, and you see that there is a site layout option, which is either full width or boxed. And let's see how full width looks like. But look at this. If you change between the two, you won't see much of a difference, but there is a difference. See, this is full width and this is boxed. In order for you to see the difference, you can either save this, look at it on the front end, or you can simply hide this option panel by clicking this this button here. Okay. The reason why you didn't see it earlier is because it's taking up entire width until the panel, and it's not visible what the difference is. So look at box. Okay, we have the box option here. Let's hide this panel, and you'll see that the background on the outside is visible. Now let's see what full width looks like. Okay, so full width, as the name suggests, it takes the entire width of the page. Okay, but again, let's go back to box. It just takes part of it. Okay, and let's try to make it even smaller here right now. So you can make it smaller using the site width option, and let's make it smaller. Okay, even smaller. No, sorry for that. Not the site, but the maxed width. Okay, even smaller just to make it visible. So it's 860px. So the site max width refers to this entire box right here. So it's only 860px wide. Okay, and this site width, which is for the percentage, is the content within the site max width. So I made it 80%, so it's 80% of the 100. Then this is the 100 here. So if I make it 50, it's even smaller. So if it's half of the entire box content here. Okay, and so I'm going to make it 88%, which is the default. So it almost takes the entire width, and I'm going to let's see how the full width looks like. Okay, so it's smaller now compared to when it was 1200. Okay, it's wide now. It's back to 1200. Let's make it 700. It's a lot more narrow. It's narrow now. Okay, so again, either you use the box or the full width site layout. The site max width refers to the width of the content or the container of the page. Okay, and the site width percent refers to the content inside the site max width. I hope that's clear. So just to make it again, just to add emphasis again, this is how 500%, 500 uh, uh, pixels looks like. Okay, it's very narrow. And if we change it to box, this is how it looks like. This is perfect if you want this kind of look. So you want the focus to be just on this area and kind of like how the WP beginner looks like, really. Okay, but in this tutorial, I'm going to use the full width. I want my entire page to take up the entire space available to it, and I'm going to stay with the default 1200 pixels for the width. Okay, now there's another one. This is called content layout, and it has three values, and this involves you wanting to have a sidebar or not. So let's take this first option, which is the content left sidebar. I mean the content left and sidebar right. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so the content rather, is on the left side while the sidebar is on the right side. Okay, and let's choose sidebar left, content right, and it's not visible again. We need to hide. So the sidebar is on the left and the content is on the right. That's the difference. But I don't want sidebars. I just want full width. So I'm gonna choose that. Okay, I'm just showing you the options that you have so that you'll know, well, if you want to use it, you can. But I'm going to change the background color. Let's say I want it to be white. I just want everything to be white, and it's not really visible now, unless we start making pages using Cornerstone. But I just want to use this so that everything is white on the background. I can use an image or a pattern, but I'm not gonna use that. I can also use an image, but I'm not gonna use that. A pattern is basically the background is still there. It just adds some kind of patterns. Like if you want some diamonds on the background, it stays there, while the background color still stays the same. But I'm not gonna use that, and I'm not gonna use any image on the background as well. So I'm going to leave this as they are. So full width content, and 1200 site maximum width, and the site width or the content width of 88%. That's what I'm gonna stay with. And okay, so that's just about it. So let's review what we've learned on this video. You've learned what a stack is in X, and they are unique designs that you can use as starting points for your own unique website needs. Then you learn how to choose what stack you're going to use, and the rule of thumb is whatever it is that helps you achieve in the fastest way with the most minimal option customizations. That's what I advise you to choose. And lastly, we've learned how to set up the layout of your site and what those different options are, namely the site width and the maximum width of the site, and what the difference between a box and a full width layout is. And you've also learned the how to use a sidebar, or the kind of layout that adds a sidebar to the left and another layout that adds a sidebar to the right, and the full width option as well. So stick around, and on the next video I'm going to teach you how to set the fonts of your website. So thank you.